Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. I'm Brett the Jet in the booth here with Turn 3 Racing Network for race number 5 of the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Just like always, I have my co-host here with the Boosted Brothers broadcast. Carson, how we feeling tonight for 100 laps?
Yeah, Brett, this should be exciting. A bit of an audible here tonight. It was supposed to be at the mini speedway here at Nashville, but we had to change the schedule because of a problem with the iRacing on their end. So this should be a lot of fun. We got 100 laps here at this 0.6 of a mile. It should be a lot of great racing.
Yeah, that it should be, Carson. I'm definitely excited for it. Like you mentioned, supposed to be on the Nashville Mini coming in here tonight, but of course, switching it on up with the big track with those overheating issues. So we'll get 100 long laps here at the big bad half mile. And you probably know this place a little bit, Carson. This place kind of difficult to get around, especially off that tricky turn number 2, let's say.
Yeah, Brett, both turn 2 and 4, the car wants to slide up and spin around. So you got to be very careful to make sure you hit the apex and then ride that on out through both turns.
Yeah, it looks like a nice temperature-wise day here. 65 degrees, clear weather, a little bit of breeze, so these drivers not going to have any sort of issue, let's say, with the weather. And you can see with the track map. Track looks about the same on both ends, but you know very well, Carson, same with me, that you got to drive this track 2 different styles in both ends of the speedway.
Yeah, Brett, you try to hit turn 2 low coming off and then hit turn 3 low coming in. So 2 different turns here and 2 different lines of entry and exit. So we'll see how drivers navigate that here tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. First driver we're taking a look at here will be the number 6 car. Of course, last week, Mark, had a great run going for himself at Rockingham. A little bit of race of attrition there, so we'll have to see how it plays out for him. We'll see if Mark can continue that momentum. As a 6 car on the clock, he'll dive it very low through 1 and 2, and you can see those bumps as he comes down the backstretch for the first time lap. Off of turn number 4 for lap number 1 for the number 6. First lap will be a 20.03. Right now, quick time 19.88 by Hayden Swank here at the moment. Mark down the backstretch and through 3 and 4 for the final time. Going to see if he can pick up some more speed, because right now, good enough for P number 5 at the stripe for lap number 2. Does go a little bit quicker. He will do a 20 flat there at the stripe, but Hayden Swank right now, best time here so far. Now we'll pick up with the number 2 machine. That's Jimmy Gauker. Gauker, I believe, was one of the quickest cars there in practice, Carson. I think Nichols was, of course, the quickest overall when it was all said and done. So we'll see what the 2 car can do as Gauker is on the clock. Throwing away the first lap, going to be all down to lap number 2 for the number 2. As Greggy Long, quick time at 19.85 for the number 17 machine. So that is a great lap from the 17 here. as Gauker off of turn number 4, a little bit sideways. Zach Nichols quick time. Jimmy Gauker goes to P number 5.
Same spot in qualifying as practice, Brett.
Yeah, that it is. Zach Nichols looking like he might pick up yet another quick time award. And I tell you what, when it comes to qualifying, can anyone beat that number 44 machine?
Yeah, Brett, it's always tough. I don't know. I don't think he's been dethroned yet this year, and he's got these street stocks figured out.
Yeah, that he does. As now we look at the 98 of Jason Racing Griffith here. Looks like Jason, best time of 20:09. That'll put him into P number 17. And, you know, you can hear Jason call the race in action on Tuesday nights with the late model stock Postma series here with the American Sim Racing Club. So always cool to see Jason out here doing some laps. As I think that will do it for qualifying, as Zach Nichols walking away with another quick time. And Carson, 1982, that's flying, and I think that might be a new record there.
Yeah, Brett, it is. Last time they were running here, 2023, they were running low 20s. It was a 21.1, so he got the track record by a tenth and a half.
Man, oh man, what a job for Nichols. So once again, another track record smash by the 44 machine here. And now these drivers get ready for 100 laps, Carson. I mean, you have to think a little bit of tire saving with such a long race here tonight. No sets of tires over the wall, so it's got to be in people's minds.
Yeah, Brett, you really don't want to burn off the right front of these things or else the car won't drive. So definitely will be some tire saving strategy here tonight.
Yeah, that it will be. So we'll wrap up warm up here and get ready to go down trackside to go through tonight's starting order of, I think, 23 cars here for the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series. Here we go, folks. Starting lineup looks like the following after the invert. Leading the field to green will be the car we took a look at here. It will be the 6 of Mark Fuquay. To his outside, one of the many 13 machines. This one being piloted by Caleb Ramsey will start outside of the front row. Then we head to row number 2, starting in P number 3. Will be the 33 or another 13 car out on track. That is Delphia. Then in P number 4 will be the 38. That is Dave Payton. And then to round out the top 5, we'll go to our points leader, the 88 of Chuck Darling.
And then to pick up from there to his outside, it'll be, and starting in 6th position, it'll be the 18 of Devin McDonald. To the inside on the next row, starting in the 7th position, will be the 52 of Jeff Dillon. To his outside, starting 8th, will be the 02 of Jimmy Gauker. Starting 9th, next row inside, will be the 7 of Zane Cruz. And then to round out your top 10, it'll be the 35 car of Hayden Swank.
Then to pick it up there, starting in P number 11, will be the 17 of Greggy Long. Then rolling off 12th here for another time will be the 44. That is Zach Nichols with the quick time. Then from there, starting P number 13 will be the 086. That is John Sanu. Then in P number 14 will be the 038 of Braden Cook. And to round out the top 15, that will be the 93. That is Andrew Payne.
And then to pick up from there, to his outside will be the 24 car of Shane O'Neill. Starting to the inside on the next row, in 17th will be the 98 of Jason Griffith, obviously known for broadcasting on Tuesday nights. To his outside, in 18th will be the 48 of Tim Rogers. Inside next row, starting 19th will be the 003 of Mike McCaskill. And then to round out your top 20, it's the 45 of Andrew Hardings.
Then to finish off the field here, starting 21st, will be John DeMeester. 22nd is Ron Hart, starting very deep here tonight. Another driver starting very deep will be Stephen Rockford, rolling off 23rd and starting shotgun on the field here tonight of our 24 car field. It is Zach Coyer rolling off P24. So Carson, a lot of cars here tonight. This is going to be a good one. For 100 laps, these guys ready to do battle as the field will head through 3 and 4 and we get ready to turn them loose.
Yeah, let's hope there's not as much calamity as last night.
Yeah, hopefully off of turn number 4, Mark will lead the field to green flag and we go racing for 100 laps here in race number 5 at Nashville Fairgrounds. The field 2x2 throughout the field here as it'll get off tricky turn number 2. Looks like everyone keeps it in the right direction for the most part. A few cars bouncing off the wall through the field as one car sideways. Devin McDonald hard into the outside wall. Zach Nichols involved, and it's a little bit of a parking lot to start this one, Carson.
Yeah, Brett. It just seems like Devin McDonald got a little scared by Dave Payne coming down maybe from the high line, and I think Gauker just got into him, and that caused that calamity.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at the replay with the Turn 3 Racing Network replay here, and gonna take a look here down the backstretch and try and figure out, see what happened here. We for sure saw the 18 machine get a little bit sideways first, so we'll keep an eye on him as we see what happens through turns 3 and 4. As like you said, Carson, Dave Payton a little bit higher on up, but maybe some 3 wide as Zane Cruz trying to sneak through the middle. And yeah, looks like Gauker maybe just got the back of Devin, and then Devin trying to hang on to that race car, gets that whip weight going, overcorrects, and then rest of the field just trying to get through as it looks like Zach Nichols gets sent down the speedway.
Yeah, also a hard lick for Tim Rogers there in the 48 car.
Yeah, definitely a hard hit there. Looks like John DeMeester getting a piece of it. Zach Coyer, Andrew Hardings. It looks like the only car to kind of sneak through was the 66 of Stephen Rochford there, sneaking on through. And let's try and ride on board with Steve and see what he saw. As we can see the calamity up in front, Rochford just hard on the brakes, able to sneak on through when it clears all out. And a tough break for quite a few drivers to get involved in an incident on lap number 1 here, Carson. We'll see if we get one to go here. If we do, we won't chat with anyone, but if not, we'll try and chat. But yeah, it looks like we go 1 to go. We'll re-rack them, restack them, and try and send them off this time.
Yeah, Brett, that was just an unfortunate racing incident there, an accordion effect, and Jimmy Gauker was the claim on that one.
Well, appreciate the quick claim there from Jimmy, and looks like 3 cars done already before lap number 1 completes. Looks like Devin McDonald, Jimmy Gauker, and Tim Rogers all out of the race already.
Well, Brett, that's a fast start in the wrong way.
Yeah, that it is. So here we go once again. We'll see if we get more than a lap, as once again the front row fires on off, and a great start by Mark that time. He's able to get clear throughout the field though, side by side, as they try and navigate here this tricky Nashville Fairgrounds. Field roars down the backstretch here. First side-by-side battle is for P number 3 between Dave Payne and Ty Delphia. Ty down low, Payne up on the top side here, and almost a little bit of a rolling roadblock as everyone else tries to kind of see which lane will try and prevail here. It looks like Payne able to hang on to P number 3.
Yeah, Brian, is this a 2-lane track? Looks like that high lane's got some speed.
Yes, it is, as one car sideways. How did we keep that rolling as Caleb Ramsey all out of sorts, still getting bounced around like a ping pong ball out there as Ramsey trying to stop the bleeding, but I don't know if he got shot in the back from Dave Payne or what happened there, but Ramsey way out of sorts there through 3 and 4.
Yeah, Brett, Dave did get into him, sent him up the track, and great job by the rest of the drivers avoiding that. No ARCA braking.
Yeah, that is awesome to see here. As we got a question here in chat, are these a open setup series? And it is not. These guys have a fixed setup. Only thing they can adjust is steering ratio, steering offset, and brake bias. Besides that, everyone has the same exact even playing field for the driver. So it really just comes down to skill and how well you can optimize this fixed setup that is same throughout everyone in the field here tonight. As it looks like Zane Cruz Carson, a man on a mission here to start the race. He is up to P number 2. Just got around Dave Payton for that second position. As those two try and run on away, Hayden Swank up into 4th. He got around the 33 as looks like Ty's still under pressure now as Greggy Long trying to get on around him.
Oh, big contact there with Andrew Payne and Ty Delphia.
Yeah, the red 13 gets shot way up the racetrack, and probably, if I had to guess, maybe a little bit of net code as one car sideways off of turn number 2. He gets the wall. That is Ty once again, and his night goes from bad to worse here as he drops all the way to 22nd here and does not have a front nose cone on that car. Tough break there for Ty, but with this kind of run developing into maybe a longer run, let's say, Carson, field has single filed out here pretty quickly as pretty much no cars are side by side here at the moment. For this battle, we got to go back for position is all the way, it looks like P number 15 between John Sanu and Zach Nichols.
Yeah, Brett, how hard is it running the high line here?
I would say it's almost a little bit easier to run the high lane just because you don't get as many of those bumps as you do on the bottom side, because those bumps make these cars, you know, lose traction momentarily, can cause you to get loose or tight, and you don't want either of those things, let's say, with a car to your outside, especially if you guys are door to door. As we see Nichols get around Sanu there, Sanu get a little bit loose, and we head back up a little bit further here as Hayden Swank putting the pressure on Dave Payne for 3rd, and Ron Hart and Shane O'Neill door to door here looking at our screen. And you can see with this battle, Carson, with O'Neill and Hart. O'Neill, as long as he keeps his nose in front of Hart, Hart is going to have a very, very difficult time in that of getting around him because he just doesn't have the momentum. Can't keep that car pinned down like he would like on that bottom side with the bumps, as we see O'Neill hang on to that P number 8 spot. Right in front of them now, Andrew Payne looking to the inside of Greggy Long. This is now a battle for P number 6 here as we ride on board with Long looking back at Payne, and once again Long able to hang on to that position here. We'll see if Payne looks to the inside going into turn number 1.
And Greggy Long, Brett, had a little bit of controversy last night. He's trying to avenge that here tonight.
Yeah, that he is, as here we go, Payne back to the inside as they will once again go side by side, and you can see just how close these cars are racing to each other. I mean, within a foot of each other here on iRacing. Incredible racing here to watch with the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series. And you can just see, Carson, how bumpy this track is. These guys sawing on the wheel, these cars hopping, bouncing all around. it's awesome to watch, but I know for these drivers, it is definitely a handful. Oh, as we have one car here stopped on the front stretch, it looks like the 45 machine of Andrew Harding's. So we'll try and see what happened to bring out this most recent yellow with the 45 machine.
Yeah, Brett, just looks like a self-spin coming off 4, and he spun to the inside wall.
Yeah, we'll take a look here. Maybe speed it on up just a little bit then as we look at the 45 machine. That is Andrew Harding's here coming off of turn number 4. Yeah, like you said, Carson, looks like just got around on him there, and luckily everyone able to miss that. No one else involved, so that will slow down the field right after a quarter of the race already in the books, and we have our second caution here of the night.
So far, Brett, looks like some drivers have made some big moves. Ron Hart up 13 spots, Zach Coyer up 10 spots, and a good amount of guys moving up single-digit amounts.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like quite a bit of movers or shakers, and even our second place runner, Zane Cruz, he's up a whopping 7 spots here in this first quarter of the race.
Yeah, Brett, that's always a wrinkle with this series with the invert. Guys starting deeper in the field and working their way back to the front.
Yeah, it can definitely add an element of chaos, let's say, Carson, as you get put in there with the kind of the chaos more often than not with the invert. But overall, it creates kind of a little bit of parity, and when it's all said and done, you know, usually the cream rises to the top, let's say, by the end of these races. As here we go, that time by at the stripe, we get the 1 to go signal, so lights will go out around the speedway, and next time by, we'll try and go back green flag racing here on lap 29 of 100.
And Brett, looks like Zach went to the back there, so I apologize. Only one guy's moved up double-digit spots, and that's just Ron, 13 spots.
Yeah, Coyer probably getting some of those damage repair done to that 13 machine, was involved in that first yellow. But here we go, the iRacing pace car off of the speedway, and once again the 6 car leads, and another great start for him. He'll be all by himself. Looks like Zane Cruz a little bit of trouble with a shift, but everyone keeps it rocking and rolling here as they barrel through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, that really threw Ron Hart off. He got sideways there because of Zane, and now he's fighting with the 013 of Caleb Ramsey.
Yeah, that he is, and has his buddy Chuck Darling right behind him, though on the high side here is Darling trying to keep that points lead here coming into tonight. He's 5 points ahead of Zach Nichols here in the standings. Would love to kind of give himself a little bit more breathing room than that, because we know how good that 44 machine is. But like we said, Carson, heck of a start to the season for the 88.
Yeah, Brett, he's had very consistent finishes up front, so we'll have to see if he can keep that up here tonight.
Yeah, that he is. He gets back into the top 10 here as he does get around Ron Hart on the top side. Further on up, though, Jeff Dillon, Dave Payton duking it out here for P number 5. Carson, let's ride on board with Dave Payton, but kind of an interesting view here. Going underneath the suspension, you can just see how much these cars bouncing around, and look at all these cars behind him. You can see that leaf spring just going to work on this car, and I mean, that gives you a sense of just how bumpy this Nashville Fairgrounds track is.
As we got a big save by Mike McCaskill in the background. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not. What did it look like from your vantage point?
Yeah, he just got into it with Hoffman there and got sent up the track between turns 1 and 2. Looks like he just came down on him a little bit, but got really sideways and saved it.
Well, with that, we get some 3 wide race in action here down the front stretch. As I don't know if Stephen Rochford got sent out or maybe a little bit aggressive, but here goes Chuck Darling around on the backstretch. Our points leader going on around. It looks like does not get tagged, but that was that 3 wide race in there right there, Carson. Kind of gone wrong. So we'll take a look here going through turns 1 and 2. It looks like Ramsey just gets to the left rear, gets tagged by the 66, and then that final tagging, you know, did it in for the 88. Luckily, everyone able to evade him. Jason Griffith doing an awesome job avoiding the spinning 88 machine there.
You calling him evasive, Jasif?
Yeah, I about did there, Carson.
Well, it'd be fitting.
That it would be for that one, missing the 3rd caution of the night. Do you think Chuck Darling would be safe to talk to, or do you think he's a little bit hot under that helmet here?
Brett, that's your call. What do you think?
Maybe we'll let him calm down just a little bit there, just in case for the night. We'll see if anything shakes on up here towards the front. But look at this. As that battle was going on, Hayden Swank out in front here tonight. You know, he's been on the podium the last 2 weeks. He said last week he hopes to finish 1 spot better than that 2nd position. Right now in a pretty good spot as we get ever so closer to the halfway point. As this time by here at the start finish line, we should get the 1 to go signal, so the field will re-rack, restack, and get ready to go back for our 3rd restart of the night. As it looks like Swank will take the inside lane there. Carson, did we get a claim on that one, or is that one going to a post-race review?
Yeah, Brett, looks like, let me see here. Just trying to check in with race control. Hold on, Brett. There's the 013 of Caleb Ramsey was the claim on that one.
All right, so Ramsey does claim that one, and here we go. Through 3 and 4, the field will come. Swank and Cruz on the front row. Hayden Swank away with a great start here, as he will get clear as everyone else 2 by 2 into turn number 1 once again. And look at this guy, Carson. Andrew Payne trying to take over P number 3 here tonight. He's already up 11, maybe 12 spots, so he's another one, a man on a mission here tonight.
Yeah, Brett, we've seen him bumping and banging with a couple guys, but right now he's running just about the same lap times as Zane in front of him, so we'll have to see. He may have made quick work of the field thus far, but we'll have to see if he can keep that up.
Yeah, that we'll have to see further on back 2 by 2, about 3 rows deep as Dave Payton and Ron Hart side by side here. Payton continues to kind of slip further and further down the running order as this race goes on. You got to wonder, how's the handling of that 38 machine? Because at least to me, I don't know if he's enjoying that ride, at least how it's driving so far.
Fairgrounds. That 17 car, Brett, looks a little out of shape.
Yeah, old Greggy Long in the 17, you know, I think he's starting to use up that right rear tire just a little bit. You can see him sawing on that wheel off of turn number 2, and especially with these street stocks, man, once that right rear gets hot and starts going away, you're in a world of trouble at that point. Right on board once again with Long, and you can see the wheel to the right once again. Long very loose off of turn number 4. As man, oh man, that allows now Jason Griffith to get into the top 10 here tonight. So the 98 up inside the top 10 for the first time, and he's looking like he's putting together a pretty good run there.
Yeah, Brett, from the booth to the track, he's got talent in both ends.
Yeah, and I think he's a really big fan of these street stocks, knows how to get around with one in real life as well as here on iRacing. As we head a little bit deeper in the field, right around the 15th position here, 2x2 racing, but the guys we're keeping an eye on, that 88 machine and the 44, first and second in the points here tonight, running very, very deep in the field here.
Yeah, Brett, obviously the 88 was caught up in that incident with the 013 of Caleb Ramsey, but Zach Nichols, I think he got in someone else's incident earlier.
Yeah, Nichols was involved in the first incident of the night, but man, oh man, how about this guy, Hayden Swink, out in front. He's going to lead at cross flags, Carson, halfway down, halfway home in race number 5 of the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series.
As the 24 Shane O'Neill got super loose, and a great save there, Brad. I don't know if you saw that one on the broadcast there.
We did not, but got to give a shout out to that 24 machine. Looks like we'll be bringing it down pit road though, so a tough break to O'Neill there. As yeah, that Hot Wheels 24 down on pit road. So now that leaves, I think, 19 cars out on track and on the lead lap here tonight. Battle for second, Henan up. Here comes Andrew Payne looking to the inside of the 7 of Zane Cruz. These guys will race door number to door number, at least off the corner, but Cruz has the more momentum there down the straightaway, but you can see in the corners that inside line with that shorter distance a little bit faster. But like we said before, Carson, very, very tough to hold off that guy on the top lane. As maybe some contact there through 3 and 4. We saw Payne and Cruz get loose there. Cruz loses second, maybe gonna lose third to Jeff Dillon.
Yeah, Brett, those two just got into each other, and kind of washed Zane up the track, got him loose, and now he's fighting with this 52 car here.
Yeah, we'll see if Cruz can hang on to this position up on the top side, as this is the best battle on the speedway here at the moment. A little bit further on back, Chuck Darling trying to work over the 13 machine of Zach Hoyer as well. As Darling gets sideways off the corner, he will make hard contact. John DeMeester will be involved, as that will bring out our 4th caution, and once again involving our points leader of Chuck Darling. Oh man, a bad night going worse for the 88. Looks like he kind of just gets the bump wrong there in the middle, 1 and 2, loses that back end and just can't hang on to it. John Sanu also going around there in the 82. It looks like John DeMeester as well with some damage from that one as well. So looks like at least 3 cars with some heavy damage from that one.
Yeah, Brett, Chuck Darling has already claimed that incident, and I don't know if you saw too, under caution, Zane Cruz got loose and Jeff Dillon turned him in turn 2.
Really? All right, we'll try and find that one here. Gonna watch full speed here, try and go to the 7 of Zane Cruz here during the yellow flag and see what happened going into turn number 1 here. Right as the caution flag falls. Yeah, it looks like Cruz gets in there too hot, and then, yeah, like you said, Dylan just gives him a shot there right at the apex. Luckily, that wasn't bigger than it was, but man, oh man. Yeah, like mentioned there in chat, tough break for Chuck Darling. A bad night going worst here. Gonna have to hope for a little bit of attrition by the end of this one, as we can see a very beaten and battered number 88 machine. And here we go. 1 to go here on the speedway. Lights are put out. Front row on this restart, Carson. 2 veterans, 2 guys that known to get aggressive when the time is right. Hayden Swank and Andrew Payne side by side here.
Yeah, Brett, we're going to have to see what Hayden does on this start. He's controlling it on the bottom.
Yeah, interesting call for the 35 machine to take the bottom here, as through 3 and 4 the field will come. Swank gets away with a great start there. It's going to be Jeff Dillon actually with a little bit of advantage on Payne as they head into turn number 1.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough to clear Andrew Payne and get in front of him, so here comes Andrew on the outside.
Yeah, Payne gonna send it in there deep, try and get that momentum built on up on the top lane. That time Payne with a little bit of an advantage there. As we ride further on back, just seeing the racing out there on track. These cars bouncing around, cars all around you. It's getting crazy, Carson.
Yeah, Brad, it's getting to that point in the race where all bets are starting to be off, and guys are going to start trying some crazy moves.
Yeah, that they are. Like you said, Carson, that intensity dialing on up as each lap completes. They know they're getting closer and closer to the end and starting to run out of time as Cruz sideways, Braden Cook hard into the inside wall. Well, that will put out the caution flag for the 5th time here tonight. Braden Cook around in the 038 machine. And Carson, to me, it looked like the 7 car just got loose and came on down to the car on the inside.
Yeah, Brad, St. Cruz was higher off of 4 there and just got a little loose and bounced off the 038 and sent him into the inside wall.
Yeah, tough break for Cook because he was running inside of the top 10 there before that yellow flag. Now all the way back in P number 18, as looks like we have, I believe, 18 cars on the lead lap, but I think 19 cars still out on the speedway. Yes, that is the case here. Yeah, it's definitely, we got a chat there in the YouTube chat lands here, Carson. Those bumpers can be killer, and I tell you what, that is very true. You know, you can beat and bang with these street stocks, but at a track that's this fast, you know, a wrong time bump can definitely ruin a night in a hurry, let's say.
Oh yeah, Brad, it's tough. You got to be right on the line going around these turns, and man, it's bumpy down there. You're kind of like trying to just walk the car left and right and keep the tires under you.
Yeah, definitely almost like a boat kind of bobbing and weaving through the track. But like you said, the key point, trying to keep those tires underneath you and glued to the track. As we get a question for a John DeMeester update out there in chat. And yeah, you can see here the number 2 machine of DeMeester. No front bumper on that Miller High Life number 2. So DeMeester's still on the lead lap, but with a little bit of a wounded car out there. And here we go. Lights are extinguished once again. It's going to be a 30-lap shootout to the end. Hayden Swank, Andrew Payne once again the front row. And Carson, what do you say we let the cars do the talking here on this restart? You want to do a little turn 3, turn it up?
Sure, Brett. I think that sounds like a good idea.
Alrighty, so we'll let the cars do the talking on the restart. So here we go. A little turn 3, turn it up for restart number 5. You're muted here for, we'll do like 30 seconds. All right, Carson, we come back live, and a little bit of a brown pants moment for quite a few drivers out there.
Yeah, Brett, that was a scary incident involving the 038 of Braden Cook. I saw him get loose.
Yeah, and I think Mike McCaskill might have been the other one involved, but we head back up towards the front here as Andrew Payne putting the pressure on Hayden Swink as we get closer to the countdown clock of 25 laps to go. As one car going around, it's the 98 machine of Jason Griffith. It looks like Andrew Harding's stopped on the speedway as well. We'll take a look here, see what brought out the yellow flag. As we'll see here, Ron Hart loose off of turn number 2, and we'll see what happened going into turn number 1 here. Griffith right on the back bumper of Ron. Give Ron's a shot in the shorts, and then he gets on the binders too hard there and actually loses the back end under braking, spins in front of the field, and luckily everyone does a great job of avoiding him. And Carson, no ARCA brake in there at least.
Yeah, Brett. Andrew Harding's coming in there. It was a little bit scary. Looks like he locked it up and spun it out, but thankfully no one else involved in that incident after it occurred.
Yeah, so with that, we go to 25 laps to go here tonight under the caution flag here. Looks like John Sanu will get another lap, and I think that puts the 86 machine back on the lead lap here tonight. So John Sanu going to be back here fighting for some positions here at the end.
Yeah, Brett, he was 2 laps down before these last 2 cautions. And I have to apologize to him. I called him Hoffman. He's in the other league, in the other series on Tuesday. So my apologies to John Sanu. That's who's in the 086.
Alrighty, so a lap and a half away from some green flag racing here. And real quick, we got to thank our sponsor, Race1Wraps.com. You can like them on Facebook at Race1. And up on screen there, you can see some of the great work Mark does with his graphic company. I tell you what, Carson, some of the nicest looking race cars come out of that shop, as well as he's doing some really cool stuff. And I don't know if the deal's still going on, but if you got those signs kind of in the top right there, you could buy 2 and get the 3rd free here. He was running a special deal on those.
Yeah, Brett, that's a great deal.
Yes, that is. So here we go. Lights are out at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Once again, it is Swank and Payne on the front row. Off of turn number 4 they come, and once again, Hayden Swank away with a great restart. He will be all by himself. It looks like this time Payne a little bit better. He's going to have the advantage on Dylan and should get clear here off of turn number 2. Quite a few cars in the wall there off of turn number 2. I think Mike McCaskill might have got the wall the hardest there.
Yeah, Mike McCaskill was involved in that earlier incident with Braden Cook. I saw that. It looks like it started with Mike, and Cook was an unfortunate and unlucky bystander in that one and got involved. So tough break for the 038 there.
Yeah, Zane Cruz goes around on the front stretch. He will spin down low and once again bring out the 7th yellow flag here of the night. And we saw some very close racing. We were watching that live, and Cruz will go around in that number 7 spot. 7 car, as we'll take a look here on the replay once again and see what happened to Cruz here off of turn number 4. As Carson, what'd you see from that one?
Well, it looks like Zane Cruz was on the outside, and Zach Coyer was on the bottom, and it became 3 wide for just a second, just long enough for Greggy Long in the middle to get bumper card off Zach into Zane, and then Zane went down the track into the inside wall.
Yeah, I saw that same thing there. So tough break for Cruz, as now he'll get relegated all the way back to P number 19 here tonight. So far, I don't believe any claim on that yellow. Have you heard anything, Carson?
No, Brett, I have not.
Alrighty, so we'll see if that has to go post-race here. And yeah, the setup here tonight, a little bit looser than the stock. I believe a little bit more fuel in these cars than the stock setup that iRacing provides to make sure we make it the correct distance. As I think usually we bump up the PSIs just a little bit, make them not as loose here on the short runs, as well as add a little bit of bar and maybe a smidge softer right rear spring for these drivers to drive off of. And yeah, as you can see, you know, different body styles, Carson. We have a Camaro leading the way, a G body in second, and then I think we got to go way, way deep in the field to, I believe, it's the 38 machine of Braden Cook for the first Thunderbird out here in the field. So 3 different body styles that these racers can choose from to race each and every week. And it seems like, as you can see out there in the field, G body is definitely the most popular. I mean, it's definitely one of the cooler looking cars out there, but no advantage to any sort of body style. They all still are exactly the same underneath from iRacing. It's just how you want your car to look.
No aero effects, Brett?
Nope, no aero effects, at least for 99% of the tracks these go to. As here we go once again, up in front, Hayden Swank, Andrew Payne, and Carson. When they go green, going to be 15 laps to go. It's going to be elbows out racing from here on out. Payne up top does not get a great restart here. You can see Dylan gets clear of the 93 machine. So Jeff Dillon up into P number 2. They're going to side-by-side battle for second. This is what Hayden Swank wants to see in the mirror. 2 by 2 throughout most of this field here, as everyone trying to fight for those last minute positions. Ron Hart very sideways. Caleb Ramsey also very sideways there off of turn number 2. Excuse me, turn number 4. Oh, here we go. Mike McCaskill and Ramsey sideways. Dave Payton goes on around, and quite a few cars collected in that one. Man, Carson, that caution felt like it was brewing a whole lap there till the lid kindly, I should say finally, came uncorked.
Yeah, Brad. Too much side-by-side battling, and when push comes to shove, something's going to happen.
Yeah, so McCaskill and Ramsey get together there, and then Chuck Darling, not seeing what's going on, you know, way down the line, let's say, gets in the back of Payne. They go around, and then Andrew Harding's not sure what happened to him, but he goes on around as well. Looks like maybe some evasive maneuvers from the 7 machine. Yeah, of Cruz just getting into the door of Harding's. That's what caused kind of the secondary wreck up in the second lane there. As yeah, Carson, here tonight, Nashville has not been kind to these short track cars. I'd hate to see the repair bills from both the late model stock doubleheader feature and here tonight with the street stocks.
Yeah, Brad. Both races were full of cautions, full of incidents, full of tempers flaring. It's not only the expenses of the cars, but it's also the mental toll.
Yeah, that is definitely at play here tonight. As once you go back green flag racing, it will be 8 laps to go, so it will be single digits to go. And we thought it was crazy before. Oh man, wait till you see this last mad dash to the finish.
Yeah, Brad, I don't think we're done with cautions.
Yeah, at least how tonight has gone, it doesn't seem that way either. As why don't we get a little update from you, Carson? How about those movers and shakers here tonight?
Yeah, Brett, Stephen Rochford in the 5th position is up 18 spots. Ron Hart behind him in the 6th position, is up 16 spots. It looks like those are the 2 biggest movers and positioning themselves well for a nice finish here tonight.
Yeah, that they are, as the lights go out around the speedway here once again. And for another time, front row will be the same. We'll have to see what kind of restart the 98 can get. As once again, Swank gets away with a great start out in front. He's able to get clear as Payne, with some momentum up top, can Payne make a move to the lead here before it's all said and done? Oh, 2 cars hard in the wall there off of turn number 2.
Yeah, Brett. Looks like Zane Cruz, has just been black flagged. That incident was on him.
As yeah, it looks like Braden Cook around on pit road. Caleb Ramsey stopped against the wall here. We'll see if a caution flag comes out here as cars sideways off the corner as they barrel down through 3 and 4. These guys trying to use up whatever's left in these tires here tonight, as it is 6 laps to go. Payne all over the back bumper of Swank for the race lead. In a battle for a third, Rochford is not done here tonight. He's trying to get on the podium before it's all said and done. He's to the inside of Dillon. They almost make contact into turn number 1. Rochford has to get on the binders hard, almost loses the back end.
And what a race for this 66 car, up 19 spots and looking for more.
Yeah, an incredible run here, even if he doesn't get on that podium. What a run for him. And then how about the guy right behind him now? Zach Nichols, involved in that first yellow, has been getting damage repair done all day long to that 44. He finds himself up in the top 5, but we put out the yellow flag here with under 5 laps to go. As here we go, looking for the replay of caution number 9 of the night here, as Andrew Hardings heads through turns 1 and 2. Looks like we'll lose the back end there and then make it into the inside wall. So that's what brought out the yellow flag here, Carson. And I think we'll have one attempt at a green-white checkered. Oh boy.
Oh man, this is going to be wild. Pretty obvious there. Andrew Hardings was the claim for that one. That's the second time he's done that here tonight. Oh, someone just got turned into caution.
Yeah, we see the 6 machine against the fence here. As what happened there, Carson?
Yeah, it looks like Fuquay was just going straight up the track and just ran into Ron.
Yeah, interesting there. Contact during yellow. We're going to take a look at it, see what happened in turn number 1. Ron Hart up on the top side.
Disconnect, Brett.
Oh, yeah. His wheel never turned for that corner, so a wheel disconnect from the 6. Looks like able to get back out there, but a tough break as he was once again inside the top 10 there, Carson.
Yeah, Brett, that's really unfortunate right here at the end of the race, and to have a technical issue like that, that really stinks for Mark Fuquay.
Yeah, that it does. We'll see what he can rebound to when it's all said and done. As actually, Carson, looks like Mark might get his spot back here. Looks like race control telling him to get back into P number 6, so Mark might be all right when it's all said and done. Lights are out. They like the running order, so yeah, it looks like Mark will be able to restart in 6th.
That's weird, Brett. So is that a race control car? Because usually with iRacing, if you don't maintain pace speed, you lose your spot.
Yeah, I thought so as well, but you know, with these short tracks, could be a little bit different. So interesting there. As here we go, our one attempt at a green-white checkered. Hayden Swank once again leading the way to the green flag. He wants his first win of the season, Carson. And they get away. Andrew Payne able to stay door number to door number as they head into turn number 1. Can Andrew Payne steal this one away?
Yeah, Brett, looks like Zach Nichols had a shift problem, accordion behind him, but as we go back to the lead, Hayden Swank is on the bottom, pushing Andrew up the track.
Yeah, Swank gets really tight there and then loose off the corner. They will go nose to nose into turn number 1. We got the white flag. This race is official. They're racing back to the line.
Oh, we got guys beating and banging further back. Looks like Greggy Long and Jason Griffith leaning on each other.
Yeah, but off of turn number 4, Hayden Swank picks up the win there by half a car length over Andrew Payne. Jeff Dillon will round out the top 3. And Carson, we have a parking lot here on the front stretch. Man,
yeah,
oh man. Some calamity there on the front stretch. What'd you see happen there?
It looks like just Ron got loose, blows Zach Corey, got up into him. Zach hit hard in the outside wall, and then everyone just piled in after that.
Oh, man. Well, we see the 35 machine of Hayden Swank burning it down here on the front stretch. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back here after a quick commercial break for the post-race show here at Nashville Fairgrounds.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to Nashville Fairgrounds to chat with our podium finishers here tonight. Our first driver we'll be talking with is the 52 machine. That is Jeff Dillon. Jeff, do you got a copy?
10-4.
Alrighty, man. A little bit of a race of attrition, but up front, some great battles, man. Tell us about your race in this 100 laps here at Nashville.
Yeah, definitely would like to see a little more green flag runs there. But overall, really happy. Yeah, the balance of the car definitely changed a lot. So it was definitely free. So I tried some different things to try to make up for that, and it helped. But a few times there, definitely snapped loose. But yeah, it was a pretty fun race there in the top 5 or so.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like that in that race, coming down to a green-white checkered. A couple restarts, you know, you're able to get door number to door number with Andrew Payne and even ahead of him in 1 and 2. I mean, what was your thought process going into that? Because you knew you had to leave everything out on the line there.
Yeah, I didn't want to make too much contact or door him. And that one time off of 2, I was probably a little bit clear, but I didn't want to slide up in front of him. So, but I definitely wanted to get a second. They had a lot better shot, at least restarting on the outside. And then on the bottom, the bottom was decent, but the outside, you get that run off. And so yeah, I was definitely doing my best. And yeah, at the end there, when they got battling, I was definitely hoping they would rough it up just a little bit more, have a shot at a 3 wide there. But hey, they get a third. I'm so happy with that.
Oh, yeah, I bet. And yeah, with that roughing up, I mean, both cars slid up in the middle of 1 and 2. Hayden Swink loose off of turn number 4. I mean, you had to maybe think about it just for a second about that 3 wide.
Oh yeah, coming to the white, I had a good run there, and I could have stuck it down there and made 3 wide, but yeah, I was kind of hoping there was be more action off of 2 there and get a run, and I definitely didn't want to wreck. I mean, I haven't had a top 5 probably all year, so I definitely need to have a top 5 run. So I definitely had to back it down a little bit just to survive and make a good night out of it.
Yeah, and that's some great heads-up racing by you, Jeff, here tonight to pick up that P number 3 there with the great battle and you had on the speedway. So coming into tonight, coming in tied for 5th in points and a great run. I mean, that's got to be hopefully some momentum for you, some confidence, and maybe a little bit of a happier finish when it's all said and done and looking at the grand scheme of things with the points especially.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a big points night. Definitely needed after last 2 weeks a little bit rough, so definitely nice to have a mostly calm race and go in the right direction. Yeah, the points race is gonna be tough, but yeah, if I can start hopefully getting these top 7 to 5s finishes, we'll definitely going in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely, my man. And, looking ahead, what are kind of maybe some of the big goals you have for the season, or maybe some tracks that, you have circled still coming up in the season for the street stocks?
The main thing is just keep the speed up I had last season. I kind of struggled a little bit more and kind of fell back, but I feel like this season I have kind of a little more speed, go back to some different settings. So sometimes I just kind of keep that speed. That's the main thing. I mean, even if it's the results aren't there, as long as the speed is better than it was last season, I'll take that.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that 52 machine definitely has some speed this season. Of course, showing it off here tonight with a podium. And Jeff, I always like to ask, first time chatting with you in the postseason this season, I always like to get a little insight for myself, the fans, other drivers. What kind of sim setup do you got? What do you got for wheel pedals, and maybe what are you looking at in front of you?
Yeah, I got lucky enough I got 3 TVs here, so I got a 3 monitor setup. Got a Logitech G29 wheel and I got the Fanatec pedals. Hopefully one day go to the direct drive stuff, but still the Logitech G29, and it does good. Can't complain about it. But yeah, but the Des and Jarrett are probably 15 to 20 years old, so still rocking the old stuff there. But the PC and the wheels and the monitors are all just 5 years old, so everything else is up to date. But the other stuff is pretty old, but nothing too fancy.
All right, there you go. Yep, another driver to show, you don't need the crazy thousands of dollar setups you see with some of these people here in iRacing.
Oh yeah, this Series back probably from the 2003 days. So yeah, it's been around. So you can still make it work. And shoot, I just went to the 3 monitors just about 2 years ago. Before that, it was still just 1 monitor. So you can still make it work either way.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Well, Jeff, thanks for taking the time chatting with us. Before we let you go and celebrate your first podium of the season here, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank. Either sponsors on the car, maybe people tuning on in, or some of those teammates here tonight.
Well, definitely for you in the booth and broadcast, I know it's a lot of work trying to keep all of us straight and keep everyone entertained and cautious at times. So definitely appreciate you for that. And Tanner and all the other admins behind the scenes. I definitely know how the admin stuff is from working other leagues. It's a lot of work and it's a pain, but definitely appreciate everything they do. And yeah, I think thanks to Mark, Zach, and Caleb, they definitely nice to get some feedback on what settings are running, and definitely helps out going in the right direction.
All righty, Jeff. Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you again here in the future. But tonight, my man, go on and celebrate this third position here. Congrats again.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, and have a good one.
All righty, Carson. That was our third place finisher, Jeff Dillon.
Yeah, Brad, good run for him tonight, bringing it home in third place. Just missed out on that 1-2 battle with Hayden Swank and Andrew Payne, but solid run, and he moved up 4 spots from his 7th place starting position.
Yeah, great run for Jeff. So let's talk to one of the 2 drivers in that battle. We'll dial up our runner-up finisher, that being Andrew Payne. Andrew, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I got a copy, Brett.
All righty, my man. That was a pretty wild 100 laps. How was it behind the wheel of that 93 machine?
Man, I felt like a fish out of water. This is one of the first good runs like we've had since the opener, and I'm not well versed in these cars, so to be running up front feels good actually. I was not expecting that, honestly, with how we qualified, because starting 15th, I thought for sure we were going to just be stuck in the back and get caught up in a couple wrecks, and we actually almost did on the opening lap. Thankfully, we got through it, and I actually think that set us forward for the rest of the night. And then, it was just making moves and picking off people when I could and avoiding more wrecks and all that fun stuff that comes with some of these short tracks. And I don't know, it just sort of, once we got to the top 5, we were running pretty good and just got some positions that sort of fell in my lap, and just keeping the car clean and the tires on it. And we ended up second and almost won the dang thing. But yeah, it was an eventful 100 laps.
Yeah, that it seemed like. And how difficult was it to get in a rhythm? I think by the end of it, 9 cautions in total. I mean, it seemed like a bunch of short sprints throughout the race. So, how difficult was it to know your marks each and every time, with the track changing as it does and as these tires continue to wear and wear after each restart?
Once the first kind of string of cautions, it was a bit rough. Like you said, we're not getting our braking points or throttle up points as good at to start with, but I know by the end, and obviously it was a little apparent actually getting a decent restart for the last one, but it got there. I was sort of happy with some of the short run stuff because I know starting on the outside and having to fend off the outside, my right rear was not super happy with me at the end. So we were struggling a little bit. So I think if we had like a 15 or 20 lap run, I probably would have fell back a couple spots just because we were definitely free. But yeah, towards the end we finally learned how to actually start in these things. I'm not used to having to push the clutch in to shift. So I know we had a couple moments where I wouldn't go into gear once on one of the restarts when I was running second, and glad that actually never brought up any problems with the back half of the field. But yeah, it's tough because, if you miss it, you miss it big because these things don't have enough power to really get up to speed if you're missing a shift or just make a little error. But we learned, and we'll take what we learned tonight and actually use it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan there. And you elaborate, or let's say mention it a little bit there, Andrew. What was kind of the ultimate key with that final restart? Because it seemed like every time Hayden Swank would get out to, a car length, half a car length lead into turn number one, that last restart when it counted green, white, checkered, you guys door number to door number going into turn number one.
Actually, it was sort of an accident because I heard someone behind me throttle up, and I thought it was Hayden, so I got on the throttle a little early, and then I tried to back out of it, and I think when I hit the throttle, it sort of accordioned all three of us forward. Um, so I wasn't really trying to get a restart like that. That was just sort of a lucky timing deal on my part. So obviously I don't want to jump restarts. We did really good tonight all night, and I don't want to don't want to be the one to cause issues. But it just worked out. I was still trying to sort of give Hayden back the spot out of two because I felt like I got an unfair restart, honestly. So I know I was still trying to race him hard, but still trying to just maintain because I wanted to try to stay ahead of Jeff as well. And the three of us were all super tight for those last few laps. So I did my best there on the last restart, and I don't know, we just got really lucky.
Yeah, and this run definitely helps, looking big picture overall standings. I believe in that kind of running order. You said P number 4, so that definitely helps that boat for where you finish here tonight. So, what's kind of the overall game plan here for the rest of the season? Closing up on halfway. Any big tracks you're looking forward to, or just what's the game plan here from here on out?
I know a big part of the plan is to not take unclaimed cautions like I did last week, and last week really hurt us in points just in this series. And I don't know, we in my mind I have a goal is to try to finish top 10 every race, so we're just gonna try to continue to do that, continue to get good solid runs together in both series, just not make any mistakes. I mean, we saw it tonight. Just a lot of the guys up front made mistakes or got involved in some issues, and I think going forward, it's just going to be a matter of less mistakes are going to be better, and not necessarily having straight up pace. Because I know we didn't fully have the pace of some of those guys tonight, and it showed in qualifying. But just got to stay consistent, keep the wheels on the thing, and just try to keep it clean. I think we'll be golden. I know Zach is going to be super hard to catch in both of our series, especially in this one. I'm sort of digging myself out of a hole now. So, but I mean, all these guys are fast. We're Hayden, Jeff, all these guys that we race with every week are really quick. So, considering this is my first podium of the season out of 10 races, so we'll we'll take it. We'll move forward. We'll try to ride the momentum and head to, I believe, Slinger next week with hopefully maybe another top 5.
Yeah, hopefully, as well as yeah, Slinger next week should be another eventful race. But here for tonight, Andrew, picking up P number 2. So before we let you go and celebrate that, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who we got to thank, whether that's sponsors on the car, some of those teammates, or maybe someone tuning on into the broadcast.
First and foremost, a huge thanks to Race One Wraps and Postma Flooring for sponsoring not only our street stocks but our late model stock series as well. You know, they've been a part of the league for a few seasons now. We really appreciate their support. And huge shout out to Tanner for putting on the series and putting on the league. And huge shout out to all the other admins as well. This has been a ton of fun this season. And I know we're looking forward to building off of what we've got right now. Huge shout out to you, Brett, and Carson, and the whole Turn 3 group for broadcasting these races. It's always a fun time to go back and watch these broadcasts after the fact. So I'm looking forward, especially to go back and watching this one. Huge shout out to some of my partners: QuickTime Motorsports Media, Hall Metal Fab, Citrus Heights Lawnmower, V&H Fresh, Team Conti Sim Performance. Huge shout out to my parents and grandparents for supporting me in all my forms of racing. Huge shout out to all the fellow competitors out there for putting on some good shows and some good battles. And last but certainly not least, huge shout out to all the fans that come out and tune into the broadcast and support the broadcast, the league, the drivers. We would not be here without your guys' support. And looking forward to next week.
Yeah, that we are as well, Andrew. So you take care, have a great rest of your week, and go celebrate the P number 2 here tonight.
Thank you, Brett.
Alrighty, Carson, that was our runner-up finisher, Andrew Payne, in the 93 machine.
Yeah, Brett, like you mentioned, like Andrew mentioned in his interview there, he's had some tough luck this year, but a really good rebound here tonight, getting on the podium with a second place finish, and moved up a lot of spots in the race, Brett, 13 spots, so did a good job managing those 100 laps.
Yeah, that he did. So now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour, that being the 35 machine of Hayden Swank. Hayden, do you got a copy?
Hey, happy birthday. Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Hayden. And man, oh man, how does it feel to finally be that one spot better after kind of a crazy 100 laps?
Yeah. I mean, it feels awesome. I've been looking for this win for a long time. I think it's been almost a year since I won in the short track here at ASRC, or a true short track series. So definitely glad to get it done. But man, it was a stressful last 40 or so laps there. I just was like, man, how many times do we got to win this thing? And we almost didn't, but glad to finally seal the deal.
Yeah, Hayden, looking at the overall stats, this makes it your 16th win overall with ASRC, and that keeps you still now in, I believe, 6th position overall and 5th overall in the asphalt side of things. I mean, some great company names to be up there with, and like you said, long time coming. 2 second places right before this, but you said even last week, what's it gonna take to be that one spot better? What'd you figure out for tonight, and how we feeling?
Yeah. I think what really helped me turn a corner in these cars as a whole was just turning up the aggression. I drive a lot of other cars on the sim, the 87, the Cup car, that don't quite value or reward just flat out aggression in terms of driving the way this car does. And I've been able to get around that the last few weeks, but I felt like I'd always burn my tires up or burn something up coming through the field. But today, I was still up on the wheel. I was being smart with it, and I was really, saving my equipment by, taking my passes, taking advantage of opportunities around me. We had a lot of restarts, a lot of hard battling, and I was able to capitalize off of a lot of it, and that helped us get to the front in a little smarter manner than we have of some of the other weeks, and I think that was the difference in being able to hold on to the lead there at the end.
Yeah, I definitely seen that way. You mentioned a little bit going through the field, picking off those spots. I mean, what was besides, timing the restarts right and getting in the right positions? I mean, it seemed like it was pretty difficult to get around cars, especially if they were, holding that outside lane pretty well here. And I was kind of surprised to see you pick the inside lane each and every time.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason I was picking the inside lane there was because it was just it's a shorter distance. That run to the straightaway, like to the start finish into turn one. If you're down there on the bottom, you can create enough of a gap. I feel like to make it worth to take the bottom. But I felt like I was proven wrong there on that final restart. Andrew got one heck of a jump there. And he almost made me pay for it. So luckily, got lucky with those all night. But I come our return to this place at the end of the season, I might be switching it up a little bit.
Yeah, and you mentioned there a little bit that final restart. I mean, a green-white checkered's always stressful, but especially when you're the leader, a lot could go wrong. What was your game plan, and how did you think you executed? Because, like you said, you and Andrew Payne side by side, all the way coming to the white flag and checkered.
Yeah, yeah. I told myself I was going to wait till inside the box, just to make sure that everybody got as fair of a run at the last two as we got. And I was clean through the gears all night, and I don't think I did anything wrong or anything differently. That last restart, Andrew just got a good jump, and he was on that preferred line, so I had to drive for every little bit I had that last lap coming out of two. That one time I thought I lost it there, but luckily I was able to, pack it off in there, find some grip, and hopefully I didn't use them up too badly there. But just really, really thankful to have this win, and yeah, definitely came in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, that it did. So coming into tonight, sitting, I believe, sixth in points. So this one definitely going to help a lot with there. What's kind of the game plan going forward as we return to this track? I'm sure now, especially with this finish, going to have that race circled. Any other races you have in mind, or what's the mentality now with this great consistent run you've had for the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, yeah. If we're just able to maintain something like this, I mean, I'd be ecstatic. Coming off of two sub 20th place finishes to start the season at Kern and Martinsville. I mean, it was just a matter of like, can I just go have fun tonight? Like we weren't even talking about competing, but we've started to turn it around the last few weeks, started to right the ship, and I can't wait for this series now. I'm Slinger. It's probably going to be my weakest track on the schedule for the rest of the year, but we'll see what we can't make of it. And then other than that, I'm really looking forward to coming back and maybe doubling up at Nashville this season. But Hickory is another one I got circled. It's one of my favorite tracks in real life. My home track is very, very similar to it, and it's a place where we almost got it done last season, and I'd like to get a little redemption.
Yeah, that would definitely be a special one for you to win at Hayden. So once again, congrats for the victory here tonight. Win number 16 of the career first this season. So before we let you go and celebrate down in victory lane, I'm going to go turn it on over to you. Thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors on the car, people maybe watching at home, or anyone else you'd like to shout out here tonight.
Yeah, yeah, just huge thanks to the ASRC for putting this deal on. Huge thanks to race1wraps.com for coming on board and supporting this series. Really, really excited to have people come on and continue to support this series. And, just it's a great group of guys to run with every week. And, I think that's why everybody shows up. Winning these races definitely means something.
Alrighty, yes, it does, Hayden. Some great names to be a company with. And once again, you are the one on the top podium here tonight, picking up the win. So once again, huge congrats from me and Carson here in the booth. And you, my man, have a great rest of your night. Go party it on up.
Yes, sir. We'll see if we can't make it 4 in a row next week.
Alrighty, we hope to see that. As Hayden, have a great night. Alrighty, Carson, that was Hayden Swank picking up his first win of the season. And what do you think from the drive from that number 35 machine?
Yeah, Brett, great job for Hayden Swank. Congrats to him. He's had a bit of bad luck as well on his end, but drove the car through the field as well, just like Andrew Payne, and up 9 spots to win it.
Yeah, definitely awesome to see. Well, before we kind of wrap things on up, let's go run through the finishing order, and then we'll get our final takeaways from the night here tonight, Carson.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, so race results are looking like the following. Hayden Swank picking up his first win of the season in the number 35 machine, finishing second, going to the 93 of Andrew Payne Train Payne. Then to round out the podium will be the 52, that is Jeff Dillon. Finishing in P number 4, our biggest mover of the night, up a whopping 19 positions, that is the 66 of Stephen Rochford. And then to round out the top 5, I believe with this finish here tonight, Carson, he will take over the points lead. It is the 44 of Zach Nichols.
And then to pick up from there, our pole sitter to start the night had a technical issue with his wheel under caution and got in an incident, but got his spot back and finished in that position he was in at the time. Finishing 6th, it's the 06 of Mark Fuquay. 7th to 9th here, Brett, we got a group of big movers. Zach Coyer finishing 7th in the 13 car, up 17 spots. Finishing 8th in the 51 is Ron Hart, up 14 spots. And then finishing 9th is the 003 of Mike McCaskill, up 10 spots. And then to round out the top 10, it's the 086 of John Sanu.
Yeah, so how about another top 10 finish for, I think Sanu was here last week, and Mike McCaskill. So some great rebounds late in the race there for those two guys. So picking up from there, finishing in P number 11, will be the 17. That is Greggy Long. 12th going to Jason Griffith in the 98. 13th is the 38 machine of Dave Payne. 14th going to the 2 machine. That is John DeMeester. And then a tough night for the guy finishing in P number 15. Chuck Darling in the 88. With the race he had here tonight, a lot of tough breaks. Last car on the lead lap and will lose the points lead here for the first time this season.
Yeah, Brett, tough break for the 88, but he's not alone. These next couple drivers have had tough nights as well, or have had a tough night here as well, excuse me. Finishing 16th, the first car laps down, 4 laps down is the 038 of Braden Cook. Finishing 17th, 5 laps down is the 45 of Andrew Hardings. 18th, these next couple drivers started up toward the front. Finishing 18th is the 013 of Caleb Ramsey. 19th is the 7 car of Zane Cruz. He disappeared here tonight. And then to round out the top 20 is the 18 car of Devin McDonald.
Yeah, and I think the 7 car may be parked here for a few weeks a coming. So we'll have to see when it all shakes out what the final words are. But picking up from there, finishing 21st is Jimmy Gallagher. 22nd going to Shane O'Neill. 23rd, Ty Delphia. And then finishing in 24th, did not complete 1 lap here tonight, involved in that first incident. A tough break for the 48 of Tim Rogers. So Carson, that will do it for the finishing order. What are our thoughts of overall of Nashville? Kind of tore up a lot of cars in these past 2 nights.
Yeah, Brad, I thought last night was eventful. This one was almost just as much. We saw all sorts of things. Great racing, not so great racing. Congrats to Hayden Swank on getting it done. And yeah, it was a wild one, Brett.
Yeah, that it was, Carson. Definitely a wild one from Nashville. But folks, here next week we head to one of the shortest tracks on the schedule, Slinger Motor Speedway. Well, we'll see some even more action-packed racing. So that will do it here tonight from Nashville Fairgrounds for race number 5 of the Race 1 Wraps Street Stock Series. Once again, got to give big shout out to race1wraps.com. They do a lot of great stuff, so be sure to check them out. Of course, at the bottom of your screen now. If you want to find out more information, be sure to look up American Sim Racing Club on Facebook, X, or Discord. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network with my brother Carson. Carson, thanks again. Always a great job. It's a pleasure to have you in the booth, as well as Turn 3 is partnered up with Premier Setup. So you can find a link in the description. That'll take you over to Premier. Shows our support of their support to us. So even if you don't plan to buy anything, a click would go a long way and would be greatly appreciated by myself here tonight.
And Brett, happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much, Carson. Very much appreciated here. Wouldn't want to spend it any other night than bringing you guys some great racing action here and enjoying some great sim racing with all my buddies here at the American Sim Racing Club, because at the end of the day, Carson, that's why the club is there with this league, because we are fierce competitors out on track, but at the end of the day, we're a group of friends that want to go out there and have fun here on iRacing.
Oh yeah, Brett. And does Race One make birthday wraps? They should send you one.
That would be very cool. I have to ask Mark.
Yeah, we could run it on your real life car.
Yeah, that would definitely be very, very cool. Well, Carson, once again, want to thank you here in the booth. Want to thank all of our live viewers tuning on in here. Once again, some great numbers. Got to give a big shout out for here tonight with the Street Stocks and the Postma Flooring. Some great numbers. So want to give a shout out to all you guys, and a shout out to all the replay viewers coming on in here later, rewatching it. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. So everyone, have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. I know some areas getting hit with some snow here, so stay safe. Have a good one, and we'll catch you in 1 week time at the same place at the same time for Slinger Motor Speedway. You won't want to miss that one.
Yeah, Brett, that one's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone, try to make sure you see that, and we'll be on the call again, as always.
Yes, that we will, Carson. So from me and Carson in the booth here, I have been Brett the Jet with Boosted Brothers Broadcasting, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.